What's up, everybody? Thanks as always for supporting the show. It would mean a lot to me if you would take a second to scroll down and hit that subscribe button to the Hoops Tonight YouTube channel, and then follow me on social media on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter so you guys don't miss any of our content over the course of this season. All right, let's talk some basketball. All right, moving on to Clippers-Mavs. This is a really weird game because most of the stars played poorly. Like, James Harden had a heater that he hit in the late first quarter. Started with a step-back three at the end of the first quarter. Then he hit a couple more threes to start the second quarter. That gave the Clippers a little bit of a lead. That was like Harden's little hot streak. And then Kyrie Irving caught a heater that was at the end of the third quarter and the early fourth quarter. That basically iced the game for the Mavs. But outside of that, all the stars played poorly. Kawhi was bad. He's clearly just hurt, and he's not able to get to his spots, and he's not able to get lift. Paul George was just abysmal. He had 7 points. Shot selection's the big thing for him. I'm watching him take these incredibly difficult step-back contested long twos or contested threes early in the shot clock, just not playing within the flow and using, again, I talk about that all the time. Rescue possessions, coverage beaters, end of game situations. That's when you lean on tough shot making. Just the one other exception I would use is okay, you've made 2 or 3 in a row and it's like a heat check type of thing. But outside of those 4 situations, you really shouldn't. Rescue possessions, 4 or 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Look to go to your dribble package and make a tough shot, right? Coverage beaters. That means you're in a ball screen and the guy ducks underneath the pick. Yeah, you need to take the pull-up 3. You go off a ball screen, they're in a deep drop and your defender got caught on the screen. Yeah, you might want to look at a pull-up 2 in the mid-range there as you're getting downhill, right? I'm not saying that those don't play a role. Late game situations, obviously, more switching, more physicality. A lot of the times the in the flow stuff stops working. And then on a heat check, a contested shot is a higher percentage shot. But outside of those situations, it doesn't really make sense to go take a multiple dribble combination, difficult pull-up jump shot. And Paul George just actively hunts them. And again, it's one of those things where it's you're already out of rhythm. And you're trying to get in rhythm, but you're trying to get in rhythm that on your best day, you might make that shot 30% of the time. Those really tough ones, right? When a guy goes 50, 40, 90, who's a 3-level scorer, it's not because he's shooting 50% on tough contested 2s and 40% on tough contested 3s. No, he's getting a lot of easy shots that he's shooting over 50% on and easy catch and shoot 3s that he's shooting over 40% on. Then he's shooting in the mid-30s and mid-40s on the tougher contested ones, and that's pulling the averages down. And so when you build your shot selection around that, it becomes an issue. Luka was bad in this game. He was 7 for 25 from the... I shouldn't say bad. He was good defensively, but he was bad offensively in this game. He was 7 for 25 from the field. He was 5 for 19 on pull-up jumpers. Just kept taking them, and you could tell he was out of rhythm. He had some bad misses too. So credit to the Clippers defenders. I thought Russell Westbrook did a really, really good job on Luka with his back pressure, just kind of relentlessly pursuing him from behind. Terrence Mann did a really good job as well. Shout out both of those guys. I thought they set the tone and played a big role in Luka having a tough night. Every perimeter defender for Dallas did an amazing job. PJ Washington, Derrick Jones Jr., Dante Exum, Josh Green, everyone did a great job. They forced the Clippers into 19 turnovers. They scored 29 points off of those turnovers. That basically was the difference in the game, by the way, and we'll get a little bit deeper into that when we take a zoom out view of the series here at 2-1. I thought Gafford was amazing. He only had 8 points and 4 rebounds in 26 minutes, but he came out the gates just with his hair on fire, just flying around everywhere as an athlete. His vertical spacing was big. Dallas could not get the lob game going in the first 2 games. Really got it going with Gafford and Lively in this particular game. Gafford was active on the offensive glass, and then he was just everywhere defensively. He had 3 blocks and 2 steals. A massive, momentous block of Paul George on a dunk attempt in the second half where he was kind of out of position and on funky footwork just somehow elevated and met Paul George at the top. I think he got it with his left hand too, if I remember correctly. Dallas played most of the game with the center on the floor, which I thought was interesting because they leaned more into small ball, especially in game 2. And I thought that was the right call from Jason Kidd with how well they were playing. And again, those are going to be the reads he has to take. On nights where Gafford and Lively are contributing, you can lean into them. And maybe it'll be a road at home thing. Maybe it's one of those things where Gafford and Lively will play better at home. We'll see how it goes as we look forward. So kind of zooming out at the series, I still think the Clippers have a shot. Obviously, Dallas is in an advantageous position up 2-1, but they do have a shot. Both teams have scored exactly 0.891 points per half-court play. So they're equally efficient in the half court. Both teams have exactly 116 points in the paint. Both teams are shooting similar percentages. Dallas is at 53% true shooting percentage. Clippers at 54% true shooting percentage. The difference is the Mavs are dominating points off turnovers, 60-36. And they're dominating fast break points scored, which is obviously related to turnovers, 51-37. That's the difference in the series right now. Ball handling. Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic have just done a better job of taking care of the basketball, which is interesting, especially when you factor in the fact that the Clippers have been going with more aggressive coverages. Like those aggressive coverages just haven't paid off with turnovers the way that they've needed them to. So again, if you're the Clippers and you're looking for a kind of silver lining, take care of the ball, keep defending. You'll put yourself in a position to potentially tie the series in Game 4. Here's what would scare me, though, if I was a Clippers fan. Watch out for Luka. He's been shooting the pull-up jump shot a lot, and he's been making it all season long, but he's just 18 for 52 so far on pull-up jumpers in the series, just 10 for 31 on pull-up threes, and he was close to 40% on those in the regular season. So if he catches a heater, especially like if Dallas somehow pulls out Game 4 in ugly fashion and then he catches a heater in Game 5, you could be out of here quickly. That's always a risk on the table here. I want to credit the Clippers defense. They've played really good defense, but Luka is capable of getting on a hot streak with those shots, and if he does, that could close the door sooner than later. But I'm going to stick with my prediction from before the series. I think Dallas is going to win this thing in 6. Obviously a Luka heater away from potentially ending it in 5, but I do want to be clear for the Clippers fans out there. I still think you guys have a really good chance to win this series.